Diddy's lawyer, Mark Guros, did not avoid the issue. He made it clear that Diddy is already being seen as a target. There was even an incident where someone tried to attack him with a weapon while he was being held at the MDC. The attempt failed, but the message was clear. Someone tried to hurt him, and that changes everything. Because of this, it's not surprising that Diddy is asking people for help.
Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC, and that was thwarted. And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously injured or killed in prison. And so they're going to have to keep him somewhere that they can keep an eye on him. It would have obviously been better if he had gotten less time and had been at a camp, but he's going to be in a facility where somebody's going to have to, from the BOP, and I think they're well equipped to do it if they can, to keep an eye on him because he is a target.
Guros explained that this kind of danger is not unusual in prison. People get hurt and people get killed. When someone is high profile, well-known and wealthy, the risk becomes even greater. That is why he said authorities will have no choice but to keep Diddy in a place where he can be closely monitored. It is not about special treatment, but about a real and serious threat. Jaguar Wright also questioned how someone who once spoke with total confidence about his decisions would feel now that he has lost control. Once the doors close, there is no stage, no audience, and no power structure to rely on. She also mocked Diddy's public relations narratives, saying he was not a man of God and claiming that he actually worshipped the devil.
Diddy had said in the documentary, he had said, I'm doing what God told me to do.
Yeah.
So he was basically saying his actions were ordained by our Father. And that kind of basically over law and man gave him the okay to do technically what he felt was right.
And yet God said no.
Yeah, with the shirt itself, God said no. Do you feel like after, because this, of course, that video was made prior to his, the verdict and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he himself would be on the same thought process that, God is still telling him to, do as he is, do as he moves? Of course, God is telling everyone to do it, but for him to be able to have that same conviction on that video, do you think he'll be on the same motion as of now?
Well, see, that's the thing. It all depends on who you call God. I know some little weirdo who's on the cover of Forbes for, being a faithful servant to the God that he serves. He calls himself a God. I know plenty of people that say the word God, but just because you say the word God doesn't mean we're all serving the same entity. The question is who's serving the right God?
Hey,
that's the real question. I've been having conversations about this very interesting, back tattoo, which is an abomination in itself. Zole Dantor, I was just talking to everyone about how he pretty much turned it into a demonic symbol, and he's been pimping that whole thing because for those who know the Orishas, that particular Orisha is supposed to be the protector of women and children.
Wow.
Why would someone like him have that tattooed on his back?
Jaguar argued that the 50 Cent documentary made Diddy look like the only villain while quietly leaving out others who were involved behind the scenes. She said this imbalance does not protect him. Instead, it isolates him and leaves him standing alone in a place where being alone can be dangerous.
I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the fact that almost every Diddy documentary that's out, he's in it.
He is. He wasn't in this one though.
Huh? Oh no, he was in this one.
Oh, he was. You're correct. You are correct. He was
in this one. He was sitting there smiling with a shit-eating grin, while Diddy is sitting there telling him that he is the gold standard of black excellence and how he's writing the price point for our people, and he's just so happy to be there and listen to this demon run his face when he knows exactly what's going on. And it's really wild because I was listening not long, actually during the trial, he did a whole video calling me a liar and telling people why they shouldn't believe me. And he uses the same style of disinformation. It's like very interesting. Like he's got a style when he's doing this disinformation, when he's trying to get people to unbelieve what they saw with their own eyes.
Jaguar admitted that some of the points raised in those videos were not false, especially when the discussion turned to the Quad Studios shooting and Jimmy Henchman. She said that much of what was being said was technically true, but something important was missing. According to her, that missing piece was context.
Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah, he was bringing up Jimmy Henchman and all of this and all of that. And it's so funny because everything that he's saying is true, except for he left out one key part. Jimmy the Henchman did plenty of business with Diddy. Not just Diddy. I could think of a couple other rappers he did some dirty work for as well. And it's just so funny that he decided to start off by saying, oh, see, this was wrong, and they tried to get you to believe this, and they tried to get you to believe that, except for that connecting part. And then the simple fact that you have Keefe D saying that he was contracted to handle up. So clearly, we're talking about the kind of situations where someone is using someone by proxy to handle their business for them. Now, of course, all of this is alleged. Keefe D, it's really strange. Keefe D, I'll never forget because I went out to Vegas to cover his trial. I had a press pass. I was going to be in there the whole 9 yards, but they kept pushing everything back and pushing everything back. And then he got attacked just like Tory Lanez did, and everything went all to hell. Isn't it wild that he's been in there since 2023 and we're still waiting for his trial to come up in 2026? Puff didn't get pinched until a year after him and managed to get to trial and get through trial and get sentenced and get to serving his time before Keefe D. Keefe D been sentenced since 2023.
Yeah, he must not have the right to a speedy. They must have skipped that part.
Right to a speedy trial. I remember when I first got out there and he couldn't get a paid lawyer to represent him. He was dealing with a public defender. I rode in the elevator with a public defender twice. And he had money. Nobody would take his case.
Wow.
The word literally went out into the street to not take his case, to leave him in the hands of the system.
To Jaguar, it was not random. She believed it was a message. She then returned to the documentary itself, saying one of her biggest problems was not what it showed, but what it left out. The documentary presents one man as the center of everything while quietly removing others who were involved. This makes it feel polished, controlled, and dangerous. When one person is isolated as the villain, the full truth is not revealed. Instead, a target is created.
This documentary, if you didn't hate Diddy, it will make sure that you did. What I hate about it is how sanitized it is. And that's what I've been saying all along. It's sanitized. It's set up to make it seem like Diddy is the only bad guy, when it's keeping out a lot of other people that were involved, who had their hands involved in all kinds of things. Which also makes it vulnerable for people to go after it. Like I said, it's very clever. It's very, very, very clever.
Now,
it's just enough to make you hate the whole situation, but there's just enough misplaced and put in the wrong situation and this added here and this boom, 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 the boom, 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 the boom, 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 for you to be able to still have reasonable doubt on whether or not any of this stuff is real. Yeah. Scott?
Would you call the documentary educational, informational, entertaining? Like, what would you say this documentary?
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
And it's sad because there's a lot of stuff in there that's true. But there's enough left out to create doubt. And that's the same thing that happened with the trial. Actually, with the trial, it was a lot worse because with the trial, there was just a lot of stuff left out. There was more stuff in this documentary that was in the trial. Half of the stuff in this documentary should have been presented at the trial. Can you imagine if they had had any testimony from Little Rod and the footage that he had from that incident, that firearm incident where the guy G was damn near mortally wounded and was losing his life, and the footage that he had from that? Can you imagine if that had been shown to the jury?
She questioned the timing of everything. Why was so much information released after the verdict and after sentencing? Why was a documentary announced a year before the trial even began, before raids and before arrests? And yet it somehow included footage that did not exist at the time of the announcement. To her, that did not feel like luck. It felt planned. Jaguar also pointed to how public perception was being managed behind the scenes. She referenced footage showing legal strategy being discussed openly, including talks about filing counterclaims, shaping headlines, and influencing how the public would view the case, all before charges were even filed. That footage briefly appeared and then disappeared. She raised the obvious question: who lost it and who found it?
He announced that he was going to be doing this documentary before the arrest, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because the footage that he used, that he featured in this documentary, happened after he announced he was going to be doing the documentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
How lucky was that? What a find.
So,
What a find that was. Like, let's think about that. He announced he was going to be doing the documentary December 2023 with Netflix. And the star footage that you use to get people to re-upload or resubscribe to Netflix to make this the #1 in their TV shows division for almost 2 weeks straight, beating out Stranger Things. How much stranger is that?
I'm not backing.
This footage didn't even exist when you said you were going to be doing this documentary. So we've got a videographer, a rogue videographer that has this very, very, very explosive, very explosive footage of him literally sitting on camera, planning how to go after survivors, how to poison the jury pool, how to fix his trial in advance before he's even arrested. I mean, like, is anybody not forgetting when Mark Garrett, when Mark Agnifilo was sitting there talking to the Sons in the hallway, and they're sitting there filming, and he's sitting up there, yeah, well, see, what we got to do is we got to go and we got to put countersuits on all of these people. We have to create lawsuits ourselves.
This raises an important question. What could possibly motivate 50 Cent to want to completely destroy Diddy like this? According to Gene Deal, the answer may surprise people. He explained that early in 50 Cent's career, 50 was writing for artists, contributing behind the scenes, and building real momentum. He was expected to be the next big thing out of New York. Then everything changed.
He did, man. Yeah, he got everybody going, man. He's getting a lot of backlash, man. Like, people are like mad at 50 for getting behind this thing.
Well, see, the thing about it is that people are out there rabbit mind. And they gonna sit up here and they gonna say some stuff like, yo, they try to make it up like, it's because of a girl, it's because of a woman. A man that can have any woman in the damn world, you understand, go any parts of the world, find beautiful women all over the world, that's willing to do whatever he wants to. I'ma be mad because this dude got this one. Nah, it's bigger and it's more than that. They don't wanna say it. A lot of these cats out here don't wanna tell the truth behind shit. You understand?
So when people ask why 50 Cent doesn't have any love for Diddy, Gene says the answer is simple. If someone helped block your career, helped isolate you, and was connected to people who wanted you gone, you don't forget that. You don't turn the other cheek. You don't suddenly start playing nice.
Trying to take you out of here, try to stop you from eating and everything like that. Diddy was a part of that too. He was a part of that. Because he was telling the executives and people, don't mess with him. Just picture this, bro. He knew he could write. He knew 50 had talent. You understand? Why 50 ain't get a deal in New York City?
Facts, yeah. They had him blackballed. I mean, I think even Irv Gotti talked about it in an interview that he blackballed him.
Right, but hold up, it ain't only Irv Gotti, because Puff had a voice just as much, or probably more than Irv. If Puff would have said, yo, I'm gonna sign this kid, who's gonna stop him? Why he didn't sign him? He wrote some of his best lyrics. You understand? Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whole thing about it is, man, and now these dudes out here want to portray like I supposed to love my enemy. Man, I don't turn the cheek, all that shit like that, no Diddy. I don't turn the cheek, I don't fuck around like that. But the whole thing about it is, if in fact somebody gonna pay me to get at my enemy, and I'm gonna get a piece of that PC.
Sly Diegler also describes someone who, in his view, always needed control. He says Diddy wasn't just acting out of fun or attraction. It seemed strategic, almost calculated. According to Sly, one situation stood out above all. Out of everyone in the world, Diddy chose to get involved with 50 Cent's child's mother.
I think that he just really is into sex. He like recording girls, and then him getting with 50 Cent's baby mother was definitely like a power move.
Oh yeah.
And then he records, so he keeps these recordings. So what I was thinking is like, what if he can be on some shit like, if he really want to get at it, like, look at your baby mama fucking on these dudes, right, like getting slid out, like, to really piss him off. Like, maybe I feel like sometimes, I feel like he uses the recordings for leverage, so low key.
Yeah, because I've been around Diddy before. I've been at parties with him. There's no shortage of women that are approaching him. Mm-hmm. Right? So out of all the billions of women in the world, you pick the baby mother of someone who doesn't like you.
Right.
And do you feel that this was like him doing that on purpose to get back at 50?
Definitely. It was definitely like a revenge or beef type thing to get with his baby mother, of all people.
He explains that this wasn't about a lack of options. He had been around Diddy at parties before, and women were always approaching him. So to him, the choice seemed intentional. Why pick someone so closely connected to a person you're already in conflict with? Sly says it felt like revenge, plain and simple.
Yeah, they said they told me how they met and shit, but it was like,
how did they meet?
They said they met at a party through a friend or something like that. But I guess that's Hollywood though. Hollywood, everybody know each other pretty much. But still though, you know that she knew who he was. She knew that her baby father didn't like him, and she didn't like him either. So I'm sure she got with him for a reason.
Oh, so she was doing it too?
Yeah.
Oh, they were both doing it.
They
I didn't even think about it that way.
So
yeah, that's a good point.
They just clicked up. And like he informed me, like he had multiple girlfriends, so of course she wasn't his only girl. Like he would see her maybe a couple after a couple months, every couple months.
Well, that's just with you though. That's just with you.
Nah, he would like literally see her every couple months.
Oh, he told you that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They
Because Don the Dealer was the first like threesome they had. So, and he was meeting up with him on a regular basis. He even mentioned after his houses were raided, he went to like the Miami mansion and met up with them again. They were talking about it.
I ain't never been to the Miami mansion or nothing. I used to go to different hotels and stuff, but we've met in Miami at hotels and whatnot.
Well, you guys never discussed price, but at the end you did get paid.
Yeah,
the first time.
I got paid the first time.
Sly explains that he never went to the big mansions himself. Their meetings usually happened in hotels. He says he was paid the first time, and after that, the amount depended on how long things lasted. Some nights went on much longer than most people could handle. He described sessions that started at night and went well into the next day, sometimes lasting most of the day.
It was about the cum shots. Like, it was definitely about the cum shots. One time it was like, I give you 2 bands more if you do another cum shot. So it's definitely about the cum shot.
Okay. And these sessions would last like 12 hours?
Yeah, minimum.
Minimum?
Yeah.
What was the longest you went?
I mean, it usually was go from night to morning to the afternoon. I mean, I say like 16 hours. It's just like a night to day thing. Night to day. So, yeah.
Okay, well, most human beings can't have a session like that for 16 hours.
With a little break in between.
Well, sober.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would show up and they'd be geeked up.
Sometime. I mean, they would. It depends on what night it was. Like I could tell when they were more geeked up than other nights, and but they were always on some type of something.
Right. And there'd be a tray of drugs in the room.
Yeah, they party hard. They party all night.
In the end, this story leaves more questions than answers, and the truth may be far more complicated than it appears. What looks like exposure to some may actually be something much darker beneath the surface. If you want to stay ahead of what unfolds next and understand what's really going on behind the scenes, keep watching closely. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because this story is far from over.